in their final group game. A lone spearhead for both sides this evening. Expect a cautious opening, perhaps. Respective coaches embrace. Mali's Jonas Komla and Suleiman Kamara of Guinea. Mohamed Kamara, Mali skipper, and his counterpart Sekou Kamara. Which Kamara will be in the frame for a place in the final? We're about to find out. There's Jonas Kokou Komla, the Mali coach, just looking on as his side prepare to get this action underway. Favourites they may be, but they will have noticed how Ghana laboured earlier on today, the Black Starlets, to see off Niger. 6-5 on penalties after a goalless draw over 90 minutes. And the old adage proving as true as ever in international football: there is no such thing as an easy game. Might have been true perhaps a couple of decades ago, but no longer. Kenyan referee this evening is Davis Ugenchi Omweno. He's about to get us underway, the man in black. His assistants this evening: Arsenio Shadrack Marangula of Mozambique and Soro Fatswane of Lesotho. Final check of the watch. A huddle or two. Guinea just finishing off theirs. And we are underway. Mali in the yellow, kicking from left to right. The Guineans, as I say, in their third semi. Fairly sultry evening, 27 Celsius at kick-off. Guinea on their 6th appearance, came 3rd in 1995 and again in 2015. Both sides just sizing each other up in these opening moments. Mali coming into this game after a thrashing of Angola, which saw them win Group B in style ultimately after a disappointing opening day draw against Tanzania. Tanzanians, of course, just missed out on a semi-final place. That went to Niger, who beat them 1-0. Niger, as I say, bowing earlier today to Ghana 6-5 in a penalty shootout. So the Black Starlets already assured of their place in Sunday's final here. Reminder, of course, that the semi-finalists are, by dint of reaching the last four, pre-qualified for the FIFA Under-17 World Cup. That will take place in India in October. So Niger will go home with that consolation, despite their agonising loss to the Ghanaians earlier today. Ghana can now become the first side to win this competition at this level 3 times. But first, who will they play in the trophy match? Now burst through the middle there and a cross. He just checks, floats in the cross, and the header for Haji Drame. Didn't really get much purchase on it. It's wide. Jamusa Traore was the man who burst into the left there, just checked back. A nice cross, but well, Haji Drame didn't really get either the power or the direction. Three and a half minutes gone. If you've just joined us, a very warm welcome this evening to our live coverage of the African Nations Cup U17 variant. We have the second semi-final for you live from the Stade de l'Amitié in Gabon. Mali, the defending champions, locked at 0-0 after just 4 minutes against Guinea. Mali, the Group B winners, the defending champions. Guinea second in Group A behind Ghana, and Ghana awaiting the winners of the game. Throw in to Mali, just level with the box, out on the left flank. That attack comes to naught. Well, these sides met in the 2015 semi-final. Mali edged that one 2-1. A decade earlier, over 2 legs, Mali won qualifiers 4-3 on aggregate. The ball was long out there. Throw in to Guinea. Just inside their own half, they look to build. It's cut out temporarily. We're yet to see any real pattern emerging in these early stages. 5.5 minutes gone. Both sides just feeling their way into this contest. Free kick to Guinea. Djibril Touré brings it away. Switches flanks now to Samuel on the left. He plays it back into the heart of his own defence, where Mohamed Kamara clears. We are throw in after Fofana. Wellied that one clear. And the first time shot, worth a try. Swing of the leg there from distance. Poor header out by Diaby. Camera just sending that one across the bows of Yusuf Koita, who now takes the goal kick. The Malian game, of course, had 1 or 2 political run-ins earlier this year. FIFA suspended their federation for what they saw as political interference in March. Suspension was dropped a month later. They accepted that politicians were once again ready to let the footballing fraternity mind its own business, with the politicians taking a back seat once again. Here come Guinea. Well, Agibou Kamara already busily probing in these opening stages. Can this Mali vintage retain the trophy? Certainly a Mali-Ghana final would please quite a number of neutrals. Defending champions against two-time champions. Guinea fans, of course, will beg to differ with that view. They want their first final. Working his way down the right, Fode Konate, played inside by Lassana Ndiaye, and Kane will briefly retrieve it out on the left, wins the throw, and the challenge by Ibrahima Souma. Now once again, that's his second exciting run, the number 3, Djimoussa Traoré. From his initial run that Hadji Dramé had the chance to head Mali into the lead. Well, swiftly out there, Youssouf Koita, as Ibrahim Kane tried to chase that through ball down. Guinea now looking to step up the pace. Mali bring it away with Kane. Give it away though, as Guinea retrieved just inside their own half, and lofted pass forward is headed away. Kane is sent spinning to the ground. Innocuous enough challenge, but still earns a free kick. So 11 minutes in and we're goalless, as Abdul Salam Jidou looks to spark an attack but has to settle for the throw. Just on the halfway line. Guinea though bring it away with Djibril Touré. The centre circle is Kamara, Agibou Kamara, plays it back to Sekou Kamara. Guineans just happy to play it around at the back, just bide their time, patient build-up. Once again, playing it neatly now, the long ball forward for Djibril Touré to chase, but offside. Now through against it well. Keeper smartly off his line there, Ibrahim Asila. Drame and Judo looking to put him under pressure, but goalkeeper was always going to win that race. Throw in now, down by the corner flag. Konate to take it for Mali. Boisterous challenge there on Haji Drame. By Abdul. Throw in now to the Malians. Coach Jonas Kromler just gesticulating as his side look to prise open the Guinean defence, which has been unyielding so far. They bring it away with Isiaga Kamara. We've played a quarter of an hour here in the Stade L'Amitié as Djimusa Toure again tries to create something down the left flank. He's robbed. Guinea come away with Agibou Kamara. The Guineans win the throw off Abdul Salam. Well, low-key sparring in this first 15 minutes. Early days. Mali desperately hunting down a second straight title. Guinea again, just a bit of keep ball at the back. And then the counter. Well, Gabon, the host, may have been knocked out, but certainly no shortage of brass musicians looking to underpin a boisterous atmosphere this evening, as this under-17 CAN Championship reaches its climax. If you've just joined us, just to recap that Ghana, the Black Starlets, earlier reached the final, which will be played here on Sunday. They just edged out Niger 6-5 on a penalty shootout, that following a goalless draw. Toku, the man, scoring the winner. Ghana reaching their first final since 2005. Now looking to be the first country to win this age group 3 times. Still no goals conceded for the Black Starlets. Guinea held them on match day 3 in Group A. But Ghana had earlier managed to do enough to come through, winning that group. Starting off, Ghana with a 4-0 win over Cameroon. And thrashing Gabon 5-0. The Guineans also put 5 past a rather hapless Gabon side. Ghana, as I say, involved in a stalemate with the Guineans, and indeed again today with Niger, but when it came to the penalty shootout, their nerve just held. Had 20 minutes here. It's a throw-in to the Guineans just inside the Mali half. Salia Bangura looking to make some headway. Wins the free kick. Furo Konate going in rather strongly, aided and abetted by Lassana Ndiaye. So, the number 10 taking the free kick, Agibou Kamara, way out on the left, swings it in right-footed, and a header glanced on. Well, Isiaga Kamara got his head to that, with Jibril Toure lurking, just got a glance on it, and Yusuf Koita just standing his ground there and then denying any crumbs for Toure from the rebound. Well, had Kamara managed to meet that on the full, the chances are that the Guineans would have broken the deadlock. As it is, it just barely brushed his forehead, and Koita was more than equal to it. So Mali escape. At the other end, Ibrahima Silla gathers safely. Just look at that free kick again, and well, just basically a flick of the head, but it needed more. It needed a firm touch, and that could have been 1-0 to Guinea. As it is, we've reached the midway point of this opening half, semi-final of the Under-17 CAN African Nations Championship. Defending champions Mali 0, Guinea 0. Guinea out to improve on a nation best at this level in 6 appearances, of 3rd in 1995 and again 20 years later. Ghana are waiting in the final after a penalty shootout win over Niger. All the semi-finalists through to the Under-17 World Cup, as I was saying earlier, in India in October. Break off as it is Guinea who have another free kick out on the right. Just about level with a penalty spot. Can they make a set piece count? It's whipped in, headed away firmly. Well, an attempt at what would have been a spectacular volley there, but Bar got that all wrong. Good sliding tackle there from Samuel Conte to deny Traore. The referee ruled that was overzealous, so he gives the free kick, drilled in from the left. Well, Abdoulaye Diaby, beanpole defender, unable to make himself any space there. Is Guinea bring it away? Abdoulaye Camara involved in there again, and a quick pass forward from Sekou Camara, the skipper. Well, some rough and ready challenges starting to come in at this point. Saw one there from Kane. He's booked. Booked for the trip there on Isiaga Camara. The free kick's about a good 40 yards or so out. Camara floats it in, and again, really rising to the occasion. The stalemate continues. We await our first semi-final goal. Still almost half an hour gone in the second semi. Ghana finishing all square after 90 minutes with Niger 0-0. Ghana winning on penalties 6-5. Here Mali struggling to break down a resolute Guinea, who are giving as good as they're getting. Well, Koita once again stands his ground, plucks that out of the air. Now Mali come forward, the burst down the right is checked. Abdul Salam. Jamoussa Traoré is putting in a sterling shift. Constant threat down the left for Mali. Things break down once more. Guinea able to bring it forward now, but that's played back to the keeper. Lost cause the chase for Seydouba Cissé. Isiaga Camara will let that go back to his keeper, Ibrahim Asila. Now in the middle of the park, Seydouba Cissé plays it out wide. Free kick there. Niggling little foul on Ibrahima Souma. Talking to Fokane, who's already on a yellow, of course. Coming up for half an hour in this semi-final at the Stade de l'Amitié. Mali, the defensive line holds good once again. Now calling for it is the number 19, Ndiaye. Oh, and then, well, he feeds Mohamed Kamara, skipper, and he just screws a rather woeful shot wide. It's a good turn, but then the finish really not very pretty. Samuel now going down the left. He's up against Haji Drame. Abdoulaye Diaby deals with the danger at the expense of a throw. As Guinea look to put the pressure on. Here's Abdoulaye. Salia Bangura crowded out there. Can it open up now for Jamoussa Traoré? Well, that will be a yellow surely for the trip. And Hajba. I beg your pardon, it's Mohamed Kamara who is booked for the trip there on Jamoussa Traoré as he flew down the left once again. Mohamed Kamara takes the booking for his troubles. Free kick comes to nothing. Guinea, well, it's a never-ending pattern. A brief foray into attack by Mali comes to nothing. Guinea clear their lines and make a brief sortie of their own, which also comes to nothing. Abdoulaye Diaby just tidying up there for Mali. Well, we've had one penalty shootout today in the semi-finals. We'll respectfully suggest we don't wish to see another, albeit they certainly ratchet up the tension, as Ghana and Niger will attest. Ghana winning earlier in sudden death 6-5. to take their place in the trophy match, homing in on a third title. Always feel in knockout football it's a very unsatisfactory way either to win or indeed to lose. Rather cruel on Niger. As I was saying earlier, they at least have the consolation of a berth in the Under-17 World Cup in October. That'll be held in India. Guinea now probing and probing and probing, but oh, he's away now, the number 7, and the first time shot is just wide. Well, he rather snatched at it, Jibril Touré. He got away, found space. Just muscling in there, just taking the headed pass forward, and the first time left foot shot. Just flashing wide. Rather hurried it. I think he thought they had less space than there actually was. And for all that it's a cliche, chances like that, you have to hit the target, make the keeper make the save. He thrashed at it, and it was wide of the mark. How expensive a miss will that be? Ten minutes to go to the break. Defending champions nil, Guinea nil in this semi-final. Here is that man, Moussa Traoré, once again. Some of Mali's best moves going through him. It's cut out, no joy again for Touré. Konate with the throw for Mali. We'll try again. Steal a couple of yards in the process. Konate. Well, Abdul Salam switch flanks to no avail. Ibrahim Kane tries again. Now running into a little bit of space. Can he cut it across? No. Lurking in the box was Ndiaye. But cleared by Isiaga Kamara. Interesting to see Mohamed Kamara already on a yellow card, crossing his hands firmly behind his back there as the cross came over to make absolutely sure there was no risk of handball. Haven't seen that too often. Guinea now looking to break out of their own half with Agibou Kamara. Finds Seydou Bassissé. Now going down the right channel, El Hadj Ba, Gibraltar. First time cross is cleared. Alan Agibou once again finds Bar, but offside. Later this evening, of course, the Europa League final. Ajax Manchester United. I'll be starting off around about the time this one ends. So very much at the business end of this tournament and of the European club season. Can Real Madrid lift yet another Champions League? I'm sure most fans would like to see the major honours shared around. And certainly, if Guinea can get themselves to the final, there will be the chance of a new name on the trophy. Well, that one bobbled around, and the result of which is a corner on the left, which Agibou Kamara will take. 5 minutes to go to half-time. 0-0, Mali and Guinea. Header over the top. From Kamara. Not too far over. Quick look at CAF Champions League results today. Holders Mamelodi Sundowns have won 3-1 in DR Congo against AS Vita Club. Now here's one in Zamalek's group. Alger have gone down to a 2-1 defeat at Zimbabwe's Caps United. Here it's scoreless as Mali try to force the pace. Always psychologically such a good time to strike just before the break. Very even contest across these opening 42 minutes. Guinea now just content to sweep the ball around in their own half. Unflappable backline thus far. Just looking at that Caps United win over USM Alger, this afternoon in Zimbabwe. That rather puts a little bit more perspective into a match I was watching last night between Zamalek of Egypt, 5 times winners of the CAF Champions League, and Al Ahly of Tripoli. That one finished goalless, and the initial thinking was, well, if Alger can win it, Caps United in Zimbabwe, then they'll be streaking clear in that group. In Group B, well, they've lost, and so Zamalek have a point lead. Mamelodi Sundowns level on points at the top of Group C after their win over AS Vita Club in Congo. Esperance twice winners, drawing at St George of Ethiopia yesterday. A little rundown for you of the top news in African club competition earlier today. Here we are in the final minute of this opening period. Mali and Guinea on a now rainy evening here in Gabon at the Stade d'Amitié. In Libreville. Kenyan referee saying that will do for now, blowing very promptly for the break. An interesting encounter, plenty of end-to-end stuff, few real chances. I saw Jibril Toure go close with a left foot wide for when he should really have scored. The prize is a place in the final on Sunday against 2-time champions Ghana. Mali is the title holders. Went into this game assuming the status of favourites. But as Ghana found against Niger, you don't win on paper, you win on the pitch. And Guinea have every incentive to deny Mali an easy route to another final. Guinea have never been in the trophy match, and they have more than held their own in these opening 45 minutes. Which side will crack in the second half? And what promises to be a somewhat blustery second half. So here are some of the highlights from those opening 45 minutes. Mali starting well. Djimoussa Traoré bursting down the left, whipping the ball over, and then a poor header from Hachi Drame. Just didn't connect properly at all. That was a chance. Early on, just screwed the header wide. Guinea more than holding their own as Agebu fired wide and then took this free kick. which if only Isiaga Kamara had got his forehead cleanly onto, would surely have given the Mali keeper Youssouf Koita a rather more difficult save to make. As it was, he just put his body in the way and made sure that Djibril Touré had no luck with the rebound. Touré himself then got himself into a fine position to shoot there from just around the penalty spot, but he flashed his first time left foot effort wide. He really had a little bit more space and a little bit more time than he thought. Missed the target. So we're goalless at half-time. Join us again for the second half in just a few minutes. To left, Guinea in all white, looking to build on their second place pool finish behind Ghana. Well, an early show of intent. Good 30 yards there from the midfielder. Camera decided to have a crack just over Youssouf Koita's bar. Certainly we need far more statements of intent along those lines. A rather cagey affair it's been, as indeed was Ghana against Niger, that one finishing goalless after 90 minutes. And the Black Starlets coming through 6-5 on a sudden death penalty shootout. Mali yet to show us really their best form this evening. As the trophy match looms ever larger, of course, with it the fear of failure. A run to the final would certainly be a feather in the Guineans' cap. It would be their first appearance in the trophy game. 2 third-place finishes for them so far. 2 years ago, they came to grief against the Malians. And then also in 1995. Mali looking to break there, but well, Salia is held up for the foul there on Mohamed Kamara. Gets gingerly to his feet. This game urgently needs a goal. Otherwise, what awaits will be the lottery of penalties. Niger will be reflecting on how close they came to reaching the final. Pushed Ghana every step of the way, only to lose in the 12-yard shootout. Toku getting the crucial final kick for Ghana. Ghana out to make it 3 wins. No side has done that at this level to date. But their date with destiny, who will it be against? Well, Mali just has to ask oneself, what does top gear look like for Mali, because they're just not really breaking out of their comfort zone so far this evening. We know their capabilities. But so far it's a very cautious, crabby affair here in Libreville. Mali now are making a break. Now, here goes the dangerous Jim Musa Traore. Cuts inside the box. Will he ever go on his own? Yes, he will. He goes for the near post. He only finds the side netting. Glad to see him have the confidence to have a go, though. He was the man who looked like the most likely provider in the first half with his exciting burst down the left. Here he cut back onto his right foot. Could only find the side netting. Here he goes again, 17-year-old, but Mohamed Kamara doesn't get there. Silla does. Cleared confidently by Yusuf Koita in the Mali goal. Now big free kick as Agibou Kamara tries to rally this Guinean side. It's one thing, as Niger found against the Ghanaians, to hold the favourites. It's another thing to beat them. At some point, the Guineans will have to seize their moment and strike. Or risk the lottery of penalties. Now Mali to get into their stride in a long distance effort. Well, taking risks there, Ibrahima Silla. There's Samake. Tested him from distance. Djibril Touré is down for Guinea. Good 30 yards away, and Silla was almost embarrassed, recovered just in time to see off the advancing Haji Drame. Physios are on for the number 7, Djibril Touré, the forward, taking a fair old knock there as Mohamed Kamara came across him. So the free kick will be taken by Isiaga Kamara, just inside the Guinean half. Well, Samake conceding a free kick and what could be a dangerous position here for the Malians. They're going to have to be very careful here. There's a foot up, most definitely. Dangerous challenge. I think it was Konate who made the challenge. So Yusuf Koita organising his wall for Mali. Dangerous position here. About 20 yards out. Guinea with the free kick. We've had 10 minutes of this second half of this African Confederation Under-17 semi-final. Mali, the defending champions, locked at 0-0. With an unyielding, unflinching Guinea, who have the free kick. There are 4 men over the ball. One of them is Agibou Kamara. And well, as a Yusuf Koita nearly embarrassed. He managed to clutch the ball and hold on to it just in the end. But he almost let the ball go through him, and well, it's a thumping effort from Sekou Kamara, and then Djibril Touré and El Hadj Ba almost bundling Yusuf Koita into his own net. Did rather flap at the initial effort. Well, the Guinea supporters are certainly ramping up the decibel level. We take the run of these opening 57 minutes so far. There's nothing to suggest that Guinea can't see off the favourites. Guinea supporters bursting with enthusiasm in the stands as their side probe the defending champions. So far to no avail. We're still looking for a goal as we come towards the hour mark. Mohamed Kamara is the man down after that little tussle. With the other Mohamed Kamara, he being the skipper of Mali. Mohamed Sherif Kamara of Guinea is back on his feet. Well, the many musicians in the crowd managed to give us a bit of rain making. We had a fair bit falling just before half-time. We don't want to make rain though, we want to make goals. Here's a man who might like to score one. Fascine Dos Suma is coming on for Guinea. And it's the number 13, Seydouba Cissé, who's going off. Throw in to Mali. Is cleared. They'll try again. Guinea once again clear their lines. El Hadj Bar. Is unable to take the pressure off. There's a ball for Mohamed Kamara to chase. Semi-final, and just as with the other semi-final, goals are proving hard to come by. Ghana, Niger finished goalless, 6-5 on penalties. Ghana advanced to the final. Here, Mali 0, Guinea 0. Doss, the substitute, going down there, winning the free kick. Out on the right, which Agibou Kamara will take.
Yes, free at home with Bogal Stars also.
Both sets of fans have pumped up the volume. Always nice to see in these African tournaments the sheer joy and the love of the occasion at all age levels. Particularly nice to see at this, well, what is essentially youth level, under 17. Was a bit of a shove there, I thought, from on Ibrahim Kane, but gets away with it. Silla picks it up. The ball played in there by the ever willing and industrious Djimoussa Traoré. Been quite impressed with him for the Malians. Number 3. His opposite number now, Souma, trying to get in a cross. The Guineans have to regroup, try again. Kamara, now Abdul Salam. Mali, they are just looking for that top gear. Fair play to Guinea, though, they've chased and chased. I think back to that Gibraltar left foot shot wide in the first half. Should have scored there, and that's a fine save by Koita. And the header glanced wide. Guinea imperceptibly cranking things. It's a good cross from Sekou Kamara. First effort there from Cissé. hope that to go all out for a win rather than subject both sides and both sets of supporters to the really rather cruel, and I always feel unsatisfying, business of penalty shootouts. A really unsatisfactory way, in my view, either to go out, cruel way to go out, as any Niger fan will know after watching their side just edged at the death by Ghana earlier today. And really not a great way to go through either. That said, this is of course a test of nerve, a shootout, and we saw some high quality spot kicks earlier on. And now a chance. Just flipped over the bar there. What a fine save. Ndiaye. Well, he suddenly escaped then. Just his camera played it through to him, and he just scooped it first time with his left boot, and Silla stuck out a hand and instinctively tipped over. So close there for Mali. Corner on the left they have, Abdul Salam. We've had 66 minutes of this semi-final. Corner is long, too long. Hadji Drame has to chase out to the far right touchline. And it's a throw to the Guineans. A fine save that by Silla. Now, aimless cross there, goes behind for a goal kick to Guinea. We have another change. Sebu's coming on, the number 12. Sebu Senu. And much to my disappointment, if I may say so, Djimoussa Traoré is going off. His runs down the left were a feature of some of the best Guinean, I beg your pardon, Malian moves in the opening hour. But he's off. Nothing, and they must rebuild with Doss certainly knows how to put himself about. Whether he can lock or question. As the Guineans see another attack break down, Mamadou Samaki bring it away for Mali. Now Sebu Senu, the substitute, he loses out. Abdou Kaba Traoré, has he got room for a crack on the left foot? Yes, but wide, high and wide. Decided to take it early rather than accelerate into the box. There's a chance for Samu, the substitute. He's dispossessed. Mali come again. Looked like a hand there, yes. So a free kick to the defending champions. Landed their first title, of course, 2 years ago in Niger, seeing off South Africa in the final. Now a free kick will be taken by Kane. That's claimed confidently by Ibrahim Asila in the Guinean goal. Mali, as I say, seeing off Guinea 2 years ago. 2-1 in the semis. Guinea then defeated Nigeria to claim third place, emulate their 1995 showing. Haji Drami is the man down. We have 18 minutes to go in this African Nations Championship under-17 semi-final in Libreville. Mali, title holders 0, Guinea 0. Them, the Black Stars of Ghana, twice champions. Whose nerve will crack first here? A free kick, some 40 yards out for Mali. Comes to nothing at all, low and flat. Mamadou Samake. Akibu Kamara dispossessed there. Well played there by Mohamed Kamara. His tenacity paid off, but the ball's cut out by Samuel Conte. He finds Sekou Kamara, his skipper. And the bean pole, which is Abdoulaye Diaby, clears. Guinea, though, come again. Nothing if not resilient this side. Guinea now going down the right with Toure, gets it back from Agibou Kamara. Mali clear. 15 minutes to go, and we still wait for a goal in this semi-final. Penalties looming on the horizon. Can these sides spare us that? Ghana held their nerve just to see off Niger in the other semi. Another goalless affair. One always hopes that with the younger age groups there'll be just a little bit more, if not total abandon, then at least perhaps, dare we say it, naivety of youth will allow for a little bit more exuberance and not just think of the possibilities of being caught cold on the counter. The game just lacks the magic touch. What chances we've had have been snatched affairs. Thinking back to Djibril Touré's effort for Guinea just before half-time. Had a fine chance to strike a left footer. Sweetly past Youssef Koita. Missed the target. Another change in the offing for Mali by the look of things. A goal kick to Guinea. Ibrahima Silla spots the ball up. Let's hope neither side sees any interest in just running down the clock. To see a win over the 90 minutes. Any side betting on penalties is really betting on something which can just go either way. A bet could go wrong. Nassana Ndiaye is off. And Sime Kamara is on. It's a double change as Abdul Salam also comes off. He's replaced by Sibiri Keita. A forward for a forward. a chance there for Haji Drami to try to curl one in. Got it all wrong. Lofted through ball, they headed away, brought it down nicely on the left foot, but the finish was poor. Well, we're coming on now to the 80-minute mark. We still are without a goal. Ten minutes away from the dreaded spot kicks. Spot of head tennis there in the Mali defence, but they now come away with Sebu Senu. Cuts in from the right flank. Good bustling run. His ball is cut out to Haji Drami, but once again it's cut out. Drami and Kani between them, unable to keep possession. Agibou Kamara, and well, ball drifts out as Djibril Touré is unable to give chase. The ball just flipping off his right boot and out. He's unable to keep the ball in play. A change now with Djibril coming on for Guinea. Djibril Silla. And it's Agibou Kamara who's worked hard, who's going off. Quickly into the fray is Djibril Silla, a defender. Agibou Kamara. Well, he's worked hard at the fulcrum of the Guinean midfield. Still no breakthrough. There's Djibril Silla, unable to keep the ball in play, concedes the goal kick, which Koita lofts long into the Guinean half. Hook clear. Now, substitute there. Fresh pair of legs, but he drags a half-hearted effort wide there. Djibril Silla. Dovetailing with Doss. Thought he was going to work the ball back out to Doss and then perhaps look to go for the 1-2. But a low effort drag wide. Seven minutes remaining. Plenty of time for somebody to break the deadlock in this under-17 African Nations Championship semi-final. Mali, title holders, 0. Guinea, 0 in Libreville. At this stage, of course, perhaps tiredness also becoming a factor for these young players. One so often has the feeling that there's a point at which a sentiment springs up that perhaps there is an inevitability about penalties. Let's hope we haven't quite reached that stage yet. Guinea long and lofted forward there towards El Hadji Bar. Mali clear their lines. Now, Mohamed Kamara, the skipper. There's really disappointingly little end product from this Mali side this evening. Trying to burst forward once again. Number 18, Ibrahim Kane. Kamara tried to thread that through with Drame and Kane both lurking, and well, the flag was already up. Well, two offside there. One of them Senu. Referee calls the play back. Reaches for his notebook. It's yellow for Sekou Kamara, the Guinean skipper. For that crunching tackle on Amadou Samaki. 3 minutes remain. And then the 12-yard test, which Ghana passed just in their semi-final. Free kick now. Fofana lofts it forward for Guinea. Mali now on the break with Kane. A piece of brilliance from somebody is urgently needed now with 2 minutes remaining. The ball is with Guinea keeper Ibrahima Silla, who clears it right-footed. Mamadi Fofana clears for Mali. And now breaking through, well, surely needed the presence of mind Ibrahima Souma to pull it back. Had bodies waiting in the middle. Instead of that, he ballooned a shot well over the top. Thought he was going to just check there and pull it back. Had Djibril Touré and Djibril Silla in the middle to his left. Keeper's ball. And 1 minute left on the clock. Will we have late drama? Well, Silla chested it down, but nobody there to pick up the pieces. As Suma takes the throw. Down the right, Sebu Senu. 2 minutes of added time will be played. Will that just prolong the stalemate? One wonders, or can one of these sides plunder a goal? A goalless day on semi-final day at the Under-17 African Championship. Ghana 0, Niger 0 earlier on, and Ghana finally scraping through 6-5 on sudden death. Booking there for Sibiri Keita, the substitute. For the foul. Now another attack, this time from Conte down the left. Both of these sides have spent 90 minutes running down cul-de-sacs. 15 seconds remain. And the score sheet remains blank. And there we are. So, Mali and Guinea, stalemate. Neither of the semi-finals today